You are listening to the EVP Podcast.
Guess what, everybody? We're back with another episode of the EVP Podcast. I'm one of your hosts with no voice, Ghosty.
And I have a voice. I'm Beaker.
I'm glad to hear your voice, Beaker.
Yes.
Anything...
It's been a whole long time since you've seen me.
And I've heard of you.
Yes. Well, you can hear me anytime you want because we're on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere you can find your podcast. Tell your friends.
Yeah, everybody's always asking me, where can they hear this? Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Well, anything crazy happened over the last little bit?
I don't know.
Have you been in any investigations?
I have, but I don't know if it was between recordings or not.
I don't think we've talked about anything last time.
I told you about the scary painting. Did I tell you about the other house I did where they had like stuff climbing up the walls and running on the roof?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that happened.
Go on.
Oh, so you've met my friend Allie.
Yes.
We had the Christmas party at her store.
Yes.
She hit me up. Well, this was like very last week of January. I think it was like right when I was on vacation or somewhere in there.
Okay.
Or right before I went on vacation. I don't remember. Anyway, she hit me up and asked me if I could help out with a residential investigation. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. And I told her I was sick. I was just coming off of a cold. So this is definitely after the last time I recorded. She called me a couple days later to see if I was feeling better. I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling better. And she wanted to kind of give me a rundown of what the homeowners are experiencing. And I remember this very clearly. I said, before you tell me anything, the drug use in the house needs to stop because we can go in and fix stuff. But as long as they're continuing to use drugs, they could then potentially invite it back in. And I'm not going to keep coming. Like, if you're not willing to put in the effort, like anything I do will be undone. And, not like saying people that do that stuff are bad or anything. It's just, it's a gateway for paranormal activity that's already in your house. It's not necessarily going to invite it in or anything like that. But she's very adamant, like, oh yeah, they haven't done drugs in a while and blah, blah, blah. She, calls them and then calls me back and she's like, yeah, they were using on Friday. So, I was like,
have you ever
nope.
met these people? No.
Nope. I had zero information on the house or what the activity was other than after she had reached out to me, the activity had ramped up. And so they're
getting ready. So they're doing more drugs.
Yep. I come to find out that they were not too far from where I was currently having lunch at the time. So I got the address and I did a drive-by. Drive-by. Just to kind of fill it out. And I was able
to shoot anybody?
No.
Okay.
I did a mental drive-by. Like, pew-pew, ghosts. Pew-pew.
Get that. Take that.
Take that, ghosts. I was able to pick up on 3 spirits in the home just by driving past. And I consulted with the expert and she told me there's actually 6 spirits. And there was one that I was calling the Watcher. Because I'm like, okay, there's this spirit here that doesn't like what's going on. But they're just kind of watching it happen because they feel helpless. And I was able to get that confirmed by both the expert. For those of you know. For those that, if you know, you know. And then actually during the investigation, we were able to confirm that, yeah, it was one of the homeowner spirit guides was kind of being put on the back burner by the other spirits in the home. They told us that there was like something really tall. They kept seeing this really tall, like creepy shadow figure thing. You know, I'm 6'5". They said it was definitely like a foot or two taller than me. So
Nephilim ghost.
I was able to, like I said, pick up on the fact that, you know, there were 6 ghosts because that's what I was told. We were actually able to find all of them. And
you caught them all?
Caught them all. Yes. Much like Pokemon. I used my ghost trap from Ghost Hunt Busters.
Which works every time?
Yes, every time. 100% of the time, works 60% of the time. We actually found like 6 or 7 portals in the house that we closed too.
Really?
And I think what it was is the tall spirit that they heard climbing the walls outside and running on the roof and stuff like that. As I was kind of like investigating and kind of piecing things together, what it actually was is there was 2 spirits that kind of reminded me of like frat boys, like rambunctious party goers
Yeah.
that were in their 40s that have decided to not grow up and still party all the time.
Hell yeah.
Party all the time.
The little guys.
Was that a Prince? Party all the time?
No, that's Eddie Murphy.
Was it? Oh, okay. Yeah, so what I gathered was that they were kind of doing a piggyback thing. Like one would jump on the other one's back to try to make themselves look bigger than they actually were. That's how they were climbing the walls, the side of the house and all that, and get up on the roof, is because they were boosting each other up, helping each other up.
The old human ladder.
Yep. The old human ladder, but they couldn't tell because, they look like a trench coat. The big shadowed figure trench coat thing.
He works every time.
100% of the time. And then there was another spirit there. He was just there and he was kind of pissed off. And I think the more we talked to him, we kind of realized that he didn't have like the best relationship with his father. We talked to him a little bit and I kind of told him like, okay, you know what? I'll give you some options here. You can either leave on your own, or I can help you cross over. But either way, you're not staying in this house tonight. He's like, oh, okay. I'm like, I'm going to go deal with these other guys. You just sit here and think about what you've done, mister. Think about what you've done.
You're grounded.
Yep, pretty much. Then we went to talk to the other 2, and they were kind of doing their, there's nothing you can do to us. I'm like, I'm going to give you the same options. You can leave on your own. I can make you leave, or I can help you cross over. Like, either way, you're not staying here tonight. And they're like, oh, we'd like to see you try. So Allie and I kind of combined when our powers combined, we became super twin powers activated, and we were able to push one of the spirits out of the home.
Can you show me how you push? Like this?
Yes, just like this. Now, if we do it on camera, if I go like this, there we go. We kind of got it. Not really, but close enough.
Same.
So we were able to kind of like move his energy out of the house. I looked at the other guy because I could kind of tell where they're standing. Mm-hmm. And before I could say anything, I just hear in my head, I hear him go, I'll leave. And, without me like relaying this information to Allie or Mike, they both felt the energy shift in the room. And they're like, did he just leave? And I'm like, yeah.
They saw that power twin combo about to hit him.
Sure did. So back to the first guy, he was like, you know what? I think I'll cross over now, if that's cool. And we're like, yeah, we'll take care of that. So we went ahead and opened the light for him. And 2 of the other 3 spirits that were in the home, I didn't even have to talk to them. There was like a married couple that was there as well for some reason. I don't know where they come from. I didn't really talk to them. It's just as soon as I opened up the light, they bounced. They were out.
They were ready. They had their backs back.
They were definitely ready to go. And we were able to get so we were able to cross over 3 spirits that night. We were able to get them the help they needed. The other 2, like I said, the last one was a spirit guide, so she was just kind of there hanging out. The other 2, I don't know what their deal was. They were just kind of, like I said, they were like dudes in their 40s that were stuck in that 20s mindset and thought that they were like alphas, the type.
What they were doing there?
We're the best around, and no one will ever get them down until I showed up.
Well, somebody took them down.
Yes. So we were able to kind of put we clear the energy of the home. We were able to kind of put a little bubble around the house, if you will, to kind of keep energies out, put up a temporary crystal grid to kind of help keep them from coming back onto the property and bothering the family. And it was funny because I've seen this happen before where like we're leaving and the spirits are like in the neighbor's yard next door, like all pissed off because they can't.
Seen that?
Yeah. Well, they can't get back onto the property that we just cleansed. I'm like, yeah, that's the idea. That's the point. We're not letting you go back and harass his family. The only problem with that is like, I can't really take away spirits' free will. So there's literally nothing stopping them from going and harassing somebody else. You know,
Right.
like, unfortunately, it's very possible. And I feel bad because there's like literally nothing I can do about that.
No, you don't even know what they're going to do yet.
Nope. Hopefully they're just wandering and minding their P's and Q's, but
Probably went to Tooele or something.
well, that's a good place for them to go because Tooele does not have the internet, so no one there can reach out.
Yeah, who are you going to tell?
Nobody.
I did see something weird the other day, actually. So, do you remember that time at the Ritz where it was almost like a reverse shadow person?
Okay, yes.
I saw one probably like a week ago outside my bedroom door.
So if someone is just like randomly starting this episode and working their ways back, they haven't heard of the reverse shadow person before.
Shadow person.
So can you remind me and the people that are listening to this episode first for some reason what a reverse shadow person?
So usually when you see a shadow person, they're just, like a shadow darkening and, looking like a person's shadow, and you see it being, dark and it moving in a certain way that a person would. This is where it's already dark, and then this is lighter than the dark.
Okay.
Instead of being darker than the area it's in. So I had opened up my bedroom door, and I saw this thing passing in front of my eyes, like walking into the wall.
Oh, I forgot to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you're sleeping, I sneak in and turn on flashlights and walk around your hallways.
This was kind of like later at night when I wasn't asleep yet. Unless it was you who were sleeping, it was you astral projecting.
Maybe. It probably wasn't.
It was in
I just want you to know that I'm watching you.
You always do. You always do.
I just got to make sure you're not doing anything stupid.
Which is everything I do.
Right. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. I have no idea. 60% of the time, it's all the time. So how many times I can quote Anchorman in this episode?
Let's keep it up. Well, this episode, we are actually going to go talk about a place that is probably going to get a lot of attention now that these files are released, these Epstein files.
Okay.
But I think the same people are involved in this place we're about to talk about. It's called Bohemian Grove.
Okay.
So tonight, it's not a haunted house. It's somewhere actually a lot stranger because this place actually exists. And, real people go here every summer, and nobody ever knows what's going on there. It's like the secret society elitists that have been, in the news lately.
Okay.
So deep in the Redwoods of Monte Rio, California, there's this private retreat called Bohemian Grove.
Okay. So when you were first telling me about this, I instantly went to, I think I'm becoming an alcoholic here, because I instantly thought of Bohemian Brewery here in Salt Lake. And you're like, no, algae, that's definitely not it. So you started describing a little more, say it's a California Redwood area. It kind of sounds like it might be like a little type of like resort, maybe.
Yeah, so this is like almost like a compound-ish, I guess. But okay, so the Redwoods, if you've ever been there, it's dense, it's thick. And these trees are...
I am also dense and thick.
Samesies. Like wider than this table. I mean, that's a small tree.
Okay.
Like there's trees there that if you were to cut it off...
So this table that you're pointing at that no one can see is...
like 4 feet.
Right.
Yeah. But there's some trees, I was about to say, there's some tables there.
There's definitely tables.
But there's some trees.
Future tables.
They shall be in the future, yes. If there's some stumps that they've cut off and you could fit 2 half-ton trucks side by side inside the stump.
Okay.
That's huge.
I've seen pictures of the Redwoods.
And yeah, so it's thick, dense, giant trees. There's no public roads. There's actually security checkpoints. That tells you there's something weird going on. No phones allowed, no media, no outsiders. You have to be part of the club or invited, I guess. And then the people that show up there are the most powerful men in modern history. And they're all walking in together. They're staying there for like 2 weeks at a time.
All right. So this kind of sounds like the start of a documentary that's going to end not so good.
every year. I wish they would make a documentary.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, apparently we can. There's no cameras or
okay.
well, it doesn't say cameras. There's no phones and no media.
How are they gonna know?
Maybe we could sneak a camera in.
They probably got those scanners checking you for.
Yeah, probably.
Because I mean, they got all the money in the world. Like all the money is in their accounts.
So we're definitely not getting in.
Definitely, because it's owned by. So the club is called the Bohemian Club, and they own the place. And it was founded in 1872 in San Francisco. And originally, it was a bunch of like hippie artists, writers, actors, musicians. Because back then they were called Bohemians.
Yeah.
Now they call them hippies. But they were the creative escape from the city. And
so basically, this sounds like it was started by a bunch of like kind of rich hipsters.
yeah, pretty much rich hipsters. Yeah, like if hippies were rich back then. So over time, the membership kind of changed though. So these were the original founders, and then it started to change because they started inviting business owners, big corporate leaders, politicians, big names, and eventually presidents even started to show up, and then confirmed attendees of the presidents that are confirmed are Ronald Reagan, Nixon, and George Bush Sr.
Okay, so this is kind of not sounding like a retreat like I thought when you first told me about it. This is starting to sound more like a summit meeting with campfires.
Yeah, but there's going to be more than that. And the more important part, the club is extremely private. So not even press. Yeah, no recorders that we're saying.
No recordings.
You can't even like transcript these things. I guess they probably have you sign some shit.
Probably. So it sounds like there's just a bunch of powerful people that are off record and they're in this like super secluded forest.
Yeah, so that's why this place is kind of it's talked about, but no one really. It's all theoretical because no one really knows shit.
Okay, so I mean it's talked about, right?
Yeah.
I've never really heard about it, and someone might think that I'm living under a rock. If you know, you know. But where does the creepy reputation or aspect of this like come in?
Oh, so they have this giant statue of an owl, and it's the owl, and then they have this ceremony, the cremation of care.
The cremation of care. That sounds something like a villain says before he presses the red button.
So this thing is like 40 foot tall. It's made of stone. And, they do this thing called cremation of care. So picture this, thousands of trees taller than buildings, torches lighting a pathway along a lake, road figures that are walking in silence, like they were walking towards these torches and stuff. There's an orchestra playing slow music in the distance, or they do have big speakers around there too. So they could be playing music or somebody's talking on a microphone. But they start chanting.
Okay. I'm a little intrigued. Like I kind of want to be a fly on the wall here, but I also at the same time don't know if I want to be there because it sounds like this is the start of like human sacrifices or something.
Could be. So there's an effigy, which is a human-shaped figure that is brought by boat across the water, which represents care, meaning the burdens of responsibility and worldly worries. The effigy is placed before the owl statue and burned. Fire lights the trees, the chanting echoes, and the owl looks down over all of it.
Okay, so if I was like hiking and I accidentally like stumbled across this, I don't know that I would necessarily run away. I might turn around and saunter in the other direction.
So,
I don't do a whole lot of the running, but I don't know that I would ask questions or kind of stick around. I might just peace out here.
So I've actually watched some videos on YouTube where people have hiked up to that place and then kind of just let themselves in.
Okay.
They climbed in there, whatever. But one person was actually there during a ceremony and was recording it. And it looked like there was real bodies as they were carrying them. That I remember watching, there was the robe figures all lined up, and then these other robe figures were carrying these effigies, and some were like covered, but in a way that you could tell it's a body. But who knows? It's not real bodies.
Bunch of human sacrifices.
Yeah, no,
This sounds awful.
the things that came out of these Epstein files lately, I am more and more believing that these could 100% be dead bodies, real dead bodies.
Maybe dead, maybe not dead.
Mm-hmm.
This, spoiler for those of you that have not seen Late Night with the Devil, but this almost sounds a lot like some of the stuff that happened in that movie. Like with the whole group of people out in the woods with the effigies and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I'm trying to say it's like either symbolic therapy or the weirdest team building exercise ever.
Definitely the weirdest team building exercise ever.
With all these leaders and, huge.
They're out there like they're doing their morning stretches. Like, all right, guys, team building. I hate at work when they're like, okay, team building exercise, and it's not really team building. Like team building for me, we're drinking a beer. Obviously, completely different for these people.
But okay, important point is that there's no verified evidence that it's human sacrifice or criminal ritual activity.
Of course not. These are rich people that have money.
Because they want to say it's theatrical, and but visually, it's kind of looks like some, it's kind of sus.
All right, so I'm kind of curious. Why would powerful people even want a ceremony like that? Why not just go golfing or bowling or the weird shit rich people do, like human sacrifices?
I don't know if this ritual acts kind of creates this identity for them, or these organizations, especially the exclusive ones, like to use these something symbolic to enforce belonging to something. And over the years, rumors included that these mock sacrifices in plays, secret pledges, occult symbolism, and private agreements among elites. You always see them making hand gestures and stuff in some of these pictures that kind of refer to these symbols they make in these clubs.
I will make some hand gestures. So
Like
that's one of them. So I'm just curious. Have they been able to prove any of these rumors?
Well, they're all just allegations, speculations, and, theories. But what is documented is elaborate theatrical productions with costumes, orchestras, and pyrotechnics. And, you could look some up on YouTube and see those videos that I've seen. Shit kind of looks like real body. And who's not to say, who's watching these bodies come in by lake? It's kind of looks weird.
Sounds like a very fancy Broadway production.
It sounds like it though.
With the robes and the fire, it definitely sounds like a big Broadway thing. Not so much as a cult, but I'm still calling cult.
I would definitely call it a cult. So in 2000, radio host Alex Jones, which a lot of the crazy shit he has said is coming to light, and a lot of it is actually coming that it's he was telling he found out some real shit, and he was busting out some real shit.
All right, so
it sounded too fake to be real, but it's coming up to be real.
So remind me. So this was a long time ago, and I was more researching serial killers and horror film villains.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me a little bit about Alex Jones and what he was talking about?
Well, in this one, in the episode about this, he was just talking he had gotten videos of the ceremony.
Okay.
And I think he was calling it out that they were sacrificing real people. I don't remember seeing his episodes about it or anything. I never really watched them. It was kind of too much for me. But he was a huge conspiracy theorist. But he was getting tipped off and told stories about it were crazy shit.
Okay.
And it turns out a lot of the crazy shit is coming out in the Epstein files that it's real.
Oh.
So it's
not a myth.
Yeah. And a lot of things that they're talking about in these files that lately have been about farming humans and killing, sacrifice, eating humans, cannibalism. A lot of cannibalism going on in
so New Zealanders.
Not just that. A lot.
I wouldn't put it past them. You've heard about Jack Daniels, right?
Yeah.
How he went to Africa and he paid he didn't partake in the cannibalism, but he like paid to watch this girl like being killed and eaten.
No, there's more than
So shit like this.
There's sicker things than that in these files that I read.
It's insane.
Yeah, and it's sickening. It is sickening, and they're naming names, and it's wild. But it's almost like after seeing all the crazy shit we've seen now, it's hard not to believe this shit anymore. Like before, I remember hearing about these crazy things about this place and thinking how, the unbelievable things about it. And now it seems like hearing things that really have happened, this doesn't sound as bad as those. So how does this not? And it's the same people.
I don't know.
The same people involved in those things in the files are the same people going to this retreat.
I think people kind of build an image up in their head about these beloved public figures, and they don't want to believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, they would never do that.
Right.
They are such a nice guy on TV.
Yeah. And I mean, the same thing that's going on in my real life. I would have never thought, my best friend would end up where he's at right now because of some crazy shit that went down that it's hard to believe.
Well, you got to watch out for those street ninjas.
Ninja Turtles, probably.
Ninja Turtles.
Holy shit, it's wild. Just wild about shit.
Well, that's weird, wild stuff.
Weird, wild stuff. But okay, so back to what we're talking about. Here's what's important. Historical reports indicate early conversations related to the Manhattan Project occurred among these attendees back in the 1940s.
Right, so the atomic bomb. Like, for those that don't know what the Manhattan Project is.
Yes, the atomic bomb, yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's completely, like, not something I would have thought of when thinking about this place.
So, if world-altering discussions happen here once, people naturally wonder what other ideas might be discussed privately. Like, every year, something crazy.
So it's not necessarily like conspiracy theories and shit. Like they're just like influencing people in these little rituals and meetings.
Yeah, like so not like the shadow government, but they're a networking environment of powerful people who speak freely about crazy things they can do because they can, and nobody's there to witness it. No one's there to record it. Nobody can really blackmail anybody there.
Okay, so I can kind of see like where people would have a problem with this place. It wouldn't be necessarily like the weird ritual they're doing. It's going to be all like the secrecy and shit that's going on.
Yeah, so, the humans associate with secrecy and symbolism and authority, and, that comes down to suspicion. But you put influential figures into a private ritual setting, and the imagination fills the gaps. So the trees, the fire, the owl, those are the visuals, but the real unease is the lack of transparency.
Yes. And I know that bothers a lot of people. They, especially when it came to like, Area 51 and the UFOs and stuff, they want to know what's going on.
Right. And then the way they release that it's true is just so like under the radar. It doesn't get any media attention.
Or in this case, the Epstein files.
Yep, exactly. So the final thoughts on this is the Bohemian Grove may simply be an exclusive retreat wrapped up in a tradition and theatrical symbolism, or it may be a place where influence operates quietly away from the public's eye, and accountability is not there, or the transparency.
Okay, so there's no like demons or anything. There's no like world domination meetings, but definitely a place where powerful people speak honestly because nobody's listening. They can talk however the hell they want, much like I do on the show.
I've heard from some people that have also broken in and walked amongst the trees there that they all say it's kind of got a heavy, dark feeling there. So I don't know. I would say there might be a lot of ghosts. I would say there might be
confirmed.
Nothing confirmed because nobody ever goes there to ghost hunt.
Right. Well, I think there's a reason why.
But I think there's a lot of bad energy there. I guarantee there's bad energy, but there's also decisions made there that could be influencing a lot of the energy that's there.
All right. Assuming I come across a 40-foot glowing owl at night, if there's not some weird ass ritual going on, I'd probably investigate it, but not if all those people are there. Because, like I said, yeah, I don't want to be the next human to sacrifice. Because I guarantee they're doing it.
I'd give you a call and say, hey, you got to come with me and see this big-ass owl that we got to investigate right the fuck now.
Right, and I would totally do it. If there wasn't a large group of people in robes with fire and chanting.
Well, it's only 2 weeks out of the year, so we wait till they're gone.
Oh, okay. Well, we can totally do that then.
Yeah, let's wait till they're done doing their thing.
But with the owl glowing if they're not there?
No, but I'm sure there's a switch somewhere.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah. Or the
Like, just gotta turn it on?
Yeah, maybe there's a fire.
Hey, bub.
But also at the same time, we kind of want to do this incognito, so let's not turn anything off.
Yeah, we'll definitely live stream it.
Have to.
Well, of course.
Have to. The only thing you're turning on is me, okay?
Well, that's what I do best. Do we got anything else we want to talk about with this magical grove here that they obviously do human sacrifices in? Now, this is pure speculation. Don't quote me on that. Don't go run into the comments and be like, Beaker said they're doing human sacrifices. I did, but I didn't.
It's just speculation, but they totally did.
I'm sure they did, but they didn't. We don't know. There's no proof.
No proof, but I'm sure they totally did.
So that's it. We got nothing on it. We're undecided. The 60% of the time they did it all the time. You know what you should do after you've done breaking into the Bohemian Grove and seeing a giant 40-foot owl? You should email us about it at evp.pod, or you can hit us up on Instagram or Facebook at oh my good Lord, evp.pod.
If you've been sacrificed in front of an owl, please tell us.
Yes, please tell us all about it. Or if you want to go there and be sacrificed by the owl, check out our affiliate link to ghoststop.com, buy some ghost hunting gear, and send us the footage before you die.
All right. Peace out.
Or after. What? Beaker don't play that?
Peace out, butterflies.
Beaker don't play that.
Ghosty don't play that.
Peace out, butterflies.